On July 4, a fundamental change begins, but it's not the kind you'll read about in the news or see on your screen. It's a shift that doesn't shout, it whispers. It's not an explosion in the sky, it's a quiet turning of a key inside your own soul. And because it is so silent, most people will miss it entirely. The world has trained you to look for the loud, the dramatic, the breaking story. You're waiting for a sign, a clear instruction, a world-shaking event. But this change on July 4 is not for the distracted. It's not for those who need the universe to scream. It is an invitation for those who have learned the power of listening to the space between the notes, of seeing the pattern in the chaos, of feeling the current beneath the surface waves. It is for those who are ready to meet reality on its own terms quietly. You have to understand this silence isn't empty. It's full. It is the raw presence of life itself, without the filter of your constant thinking. When you quiet the noise in your head, you stop interpreting reality and start perceiving it directly. On July 4, this is the only skill required of you, not to analyze but to be aware, not to push back but to allow. Think of how deep change truly happens. A seed doesn't make a sound as it cracks open underground. A mind doesn't announce the moment a profound realization dawns. A heart doesn't send a notification when it decides to heal. The most powerful transformations are internal and silent. On July 4, you will feel this same deep current moving, but only if you create a moment of stillness to notice it. There is no complex preparation needed, no special ritual, no method to memorize. The instruction is simple: stop, take one conscious breath, and just watch. On July 4, give yourself the gift of stepping off the hamster wheel. Find a quiet corner. Feel your own aliveness. Feel the steady rhythm of your breathing. Feel the awareness that is here, right now, with or without your thoughts. That is the space where the shift will be felt. We spend our lives chasing things, answers, success, happiness, as if they are out there somewhere. But the truth is, what you're looking for is already here. July 4 is not about finding something new. It's about finally noticing what has been present all along, obscured by the frantic pace of your mind. When you pause, you don't fall behind. You finally get clear. This day poses a question to you, but it's a silent one. It will drift into your awareness, gentle as a change in the air. Will you be present enough to feel it? Will you have the courage to listen? Or will you be too busy, too distracted, too caught up in fixing problems that don't need fixing, only understanding? This unseen movement on July 4 is a form of test, not of your intelligence, but of your stillness. Can you sit with yourself without needing to react? Can you find your ground when you don't have a map? Can you trust that a process is unfolding even if you can't see the evidence? This is what it means to align with the flow of life. On this day, you might notice the subtle evidence: a wave of emotion that comes and goes, a forgotten dream that surfaces, a sudden, powerful urge to simplify your life, or a profound sense of calm, as if your inner furniture is being rearranged. These are not random. They are the footprints of the shift, but they are only visible on the quiet ground of your attention. It's easy to miss these signs. The world will keep turning, the noise will be relentless. But on July 4, none of that external drama is your real work. Your work is to be present for the quiet revolution happening within. This is not a surface-level tweak. This is a deep realignment, and you cannot reach the depths by skimming the surface. July 4 is a gentle knock on your inner door. It will not force its way in, it simply invites. The choice to answer is yours. If you choose yes, then step back from the noise. Step back from the urgency. For just 5 minutes, turn everything off. Sit with yourself in true silence. That's the key that unlocks the door. Some will say, I tried, but I felt nothing. And that is fine. The shift doesn't require your belief to occur. It is happening regardless. But your capacity to draw from it, to be nourished by it, is directly proportional to your stillness. The more you open, the more you will be filled. The quieter you become, the more you will hear. You don't need to believe in magic to experience this. Just pay attention to the subtle. Just respect the quiet. Your body already knows. Your breath already knows. That quiet intelligence inside you knows. Your only job is to listen, not with your mind, but with your whole being, not with struggle, but with simple presence. So on July 4, stop chasing. Instead, make space. Let something arrive. Let the mental clutter settle. This shift is for you alone. It is silent, but it is absolutely real. July 4 is not just another day, it is a portal, and your own stillness is the only way through. Be quiet, be present, be ready. Something invisible is shifting, and it wants to move through you. July 4 is not fundamentally about global events, it's about your internal state. People brace for external changes, they follow the news, analyze trends, and try to guess what's next. But here's the truth: nothing in the outside world can be navigated successfully if your inner world is in chaos. If you are turbulent inside, even a calm sea will feel threatening. If you are centered inside, you can stand peacefully in the eye of a hurricane. This is the reminder July sends. The external shift is meaningless without internal alignment. Most people are looking in the wrong place for security. They try to manage the world outside, but the only true stability, the only real preparation starts within. July 4 brings a vibrational adjustment. It's subtle, but its impact can be profound if you are tuned in. Not tuned in with your opinions or your intellect, but with your awareness, with the quality of your breath, with the state of your body. When the universe is about to make a move, it signals you first. The change happens in you before it happens as to you. You might feel it as a strange restlessness, a sudden moment of piercing clarity, a discomfort you can't name, or a wave of deep peace. The form it takes doesn't matter. What matters is your ability to recognize it as a signal, not just another random feeling to be ignored or reacted to. July 4 will put this to the test. It will reveal whether you are living on autopilot or living with presence. Are you grounded, or are you being blown about by every circumstance? Are you conscious or just repeating the patterns of your past? So what is the preparation for July 4? It's not about doing more, it's about being more. You prepare by stopping. You prepare by observing your own inner state. Ask yourself, is my inner world clear or cluttered? Am I centered or scattered? Am I reacting to life, or am I responding from my core? These are not philosophical questions, they are practical tools. Alignment means your thoughts, your feelings, and your body are working in harmony. On July 4, many will feel that something is off or different. But only those who are aligned will understand how to use that energy. The rest will feel confused, agitated, or drained. They will miss the opportunity, not because it wasn't there, but because they weren't home to receive it. Check in with your body. Is it tense? Is it exhausted? Is it buzzing with nervous energy? Your body is the first receiver of any energetic shift. If your body is rigid and blocked, the energy gets stuck. On July 4, allow your body to be relaxed yet alert. Use your breath as an anchor to this very moment. When your breath is deep and calm, your mind becomes clear. When your breath is shallow and erratic, your mind becomes fragmented and you lose your center. This is the work. Align the breath, align the body, align the mind, not as a grand gesture, but as a quiet, consistent practice. Sit down, close your eyes, feel the space you occupy. For just a few minutes, let go of the need to control the future. Let go of the story of the past. Just rest in the field of pure being. Your entire system will begin to recalibrate itself. This is how you prepare for the shift of July 4. The change arriving on July 4 will not wait for you. It comes like a tide. You can either learn to float with it, or you can be knocked over by it. And your ability to float depends entirely on your inner state. The outside world might look the same, but your perception, your energy, and your choices will all be colored by what's inside. When you are aligned, you act with intention, you speak with clarity, you listen with patience, you move without being driven by fear. On July 4, these qualities will be your greatest assets, but they don't appear out of thin air. They are cultivated through practice. If you start today, right now, then when July 4 comes, you won't feel lost. You will feel ready, not because you know the future, but because you know yourself. There is no power greater than the strength that comes from inner stillness. When the world around you is shaking, your anchor must be within. If your anchor is tied to anything external, your job, your relationships, your reputation, you will be swept away. If your anchor is within you, you can weather any storm. This is the true meaning of July 4. It's not about fear, it's about readiness, inner readiness. You don't need more plans, you need more presence. You don't need more external control, you need more inner clarity. Let July 4 be your reminder to align your mind with your breath, align your breath with your body, and align your body with the present moment. When you are whole, even small shifts become powerful lessons. So when July 4 arrives, ask yourself, am I aligned? Am I still? Am I aware? These aren't just questions, they are your rudder. Because when the world shifts, the only thing that holds you steady is the strength you've built inside. Let July 4 be the day you remember to start, not by looking out, but by turning in. That's where all real change begins. On July 4, something will shift. But not just in the world, the real change will occur in a place you may have been ignoring, your inner space. There are unseen currents of energy that shape everything, your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions. The less conscious you are of these forces, the more you are controlled by them. On July 4, this hidden inner world will become more active. You won't see it with your eyes, but you will feel its effects, a mood that changes for no reason, a moment of unusual clarity, a feeling that the air is thick with possibility. These are not random fluctuations, they are evidence of the invisible at work. Life is not just a series of physical events, it is an energetic and spiritual flow constantly in motion. Most people operate as if they are purely logical beings making rational choices. But in reality, many of our decisions are dictated by the unconscious, the emotions we've suppressed, the fears we haven't faced, the limiting stories we tell ourselves on repeat. On July 4, these deep patterns will be activated, not to punish you, but to give you a chance to see them, to help you finally recognize what's really running the show. When you feel a strong pull towards something or a powerful aversion, stop and ask, is this choice coming from my true self or from an old pattern I haven't seen before? On July 4, don't just react. Pause, observe, watch yourself with gentle curiosity. There is immense power in the act of noticing. The second you notice a pattern, you are no longer completely lost in it. You begin the journey from being a puppet to being free. July 4 is not a day for alarm, it is a day for awareness. The moment you become aware of the unseen forces shaping your choices, you begin to reclaim your power. That sudden feeling is not random. That memory that pops into your head is not an accident. That silence that feels strangely heavy is pregnant with meaning. But you can't decode that meaning if you're constantly rushing, scrolling, and looking for answers outside yourself. The visible world is just the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface, energy shapes matter, intention shapes outcomes. You don't just attract what you want, you attract what you vary. July 4 is a powerful reminder to become the energy you wish to attract, not just with your words, but with your entire being. Align your inner energy, and the outer world will have no choice but to respond. There is a natural rhythm to life. When you are out of sync with it, everything feels like a struggle. When you are in harmony with it, things flow. July 4 will test your attunement. You might face a situation where logic fails you, but your intuition is screaming a clear message. Trust that feeling. Your mind is a useful tool, but it's not the only intelligence you possess. Your body has wisdom. Your heart has wisdom. Your energy field has wisdom. On July 4, these other forms of knowing may speak louder than your thoughts. If you listen, this is not a time to fight what you cannot see, it is a time to flow with it. Those who ignore this energetic dimension of life will feel lost. They will feel confused, exhausted, and uninspired without knowing why. But those who are sensitive to energy will recognize July 4 as an opportunity, a doorway, a mirror, a chance to recalibrate. So ask yourself right now, what are the unseen patterns in my life? What situations keep repeating? What core feelings keep surfacing? What hidden beliefs are driving my decisions? These are not just intellectual exercises. Sit with these questions. Let the answers emerge from the quiet depths of your being. On July 4, these hidden layers will get louder. The discomfort you've been avoiding may demand attention. The inner voice you've been ignoring may speak up. Don't fight it. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign that life is trying to show you what needs healing. The more you resist the unseen, the more power it has over you. But when you can see it, name it, and breathe with it, you begin to dissolve its hold. This is the real preparation for July 4. Not just organizing your desk, but clearing your inner landscape. Not just setting goals, but aligning your soul. Energy is honest. What you hold inside will broadcast a clearer signal than any word you speak. The unseen world responds to your vibration, not your vocabulary. So when July 4 arrives, don't just look at the sky, look inside. When you feel the shift, don't ask, what's happening out there? Ask, what is waking up in me? This isn't superstition, it's deep awareness. And awareness is the line between being asleep and being awake, between being reactive and being conscious. You are here to live a fully conscious life. July 4 is your wake-up call. Life is always moving, but on this day, the unseen moves closer. Will you notice? Will you respond? Or will you fall back into old habits? The choice, as always, is yours. But the invitation is here. Pay attention. Get still and meet the forces within you before they define your life without your permission. On July 4, a current of energy will shift, and with it comes a simple, quiet directive: let go. Not every piece of baggage you're carrying is meant for the next leg of the journey. The biggest mistake we make is trying to drag our entire past into our future, building on old, cracked foundations. But July 4 is not about accumulating, it's about releasing. For a new season to begin, the old one must end. This is nature's law. Before new life can enter, old debris must be cleared. This might be a belief that keeps you small, a fear that paralyzes you, a painful memory on loop, or an old identity you've outgrown. On July 4, if you are still and aware, you will feel precisely what needs to go. You won't have to hunt for it. It will make itself known, perhaps as a feeling of heaviness, a sense of deep weariness, or a quiet internal knowing. Letting go is not an act of losing, it is an act of creating space. You cannot receive a gift with clenched fists. You cannot feel new joy with a heart full of old grievances. You cannot hear the wisdom of this moment with a mind cluttered by yesterday's noise. July 4 extends this invitation to you. An invitation to open your hands, clear your inner home, and release what has served its purpose. This doesn't have to be a dramatic act. You don't need to make a public announcement. You don't even need to fully understand it. You only need to acknowledge that something is ready to leave, and then allow it to pass. Don't fight the feeling, don't argue with the message. On July 4, the energy itself will support release. It will support surrender. It will support the quiet courage it takes to stop clinging and start living. So ask yourself now, what in my life feels heavy? What am I defending that brings me more pain than peace? What story do I keep telling myself that I know deep down is no longer true? These questions are not meant to trouble you, they are doorways. On July 4, these doors may swing open. You don't have to charge through them, you just have to stop holding them shut. Society teaches us to collect achievements, possessions, opinions, but wisdom lies in knowing what to set down. True strength is not always in holding on, sometimes it's in the courage to release. July 4 is a reminder that real power flows from clarity, and clarity arrives when the non-essential falls away. Letting go is not failure, it is profound wisdom. In the autumn, a tree doesn't grieve its falling leaves. It releases them, it trusts the cycle. It knows that only through shedding can it prepare for new growth. You must learn to trust this cycle in your own life. July 4 will ask for your trust. Can you release what is already over? Can you free yourself from a role that has already been played? There might be a pang of grief in letting go. There might be resistance. That is natural. The ego clings because it mistakes control for safety. But this is an illusion. What you truly lose when you let go is the burden. What you gain is peace. July 4 offers a moment of heightened clarity to see this truth, to loosen your grip, to breathe more deeply, and to step into the next chapter of your life lighter, freer, and more authentically you. This is not about forgetting the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about honoring its lessons and then choosing not to carry its weight any further. On July 4, grant yourself permission to release without guilt or explanation. This isn't giving up, it's growing up. It is the natural movement of energy. You cannot pour fresh water into a cup that is already full. If you want the gift that July 4 offers, you must make room for it. Emotional room, mental room, spiritual room. That means saying goodbyes that are long overdue. It means releasing expectations that were never truly yours. It means forgiving not because others deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. July 4 isn't about doing more, it's about becoming less burdened, less cluttered, less defined by the past. This is a quiet, sacred act done for you and by you. So when July 4 comes, be radically honest with yourself. What are you clinging to that you know is holding you back? What fear is preventing you from releasing what your soul knows is time to let go? You don't need a perfect plan, you only need the willingness. Let that be your practice on this day. The willingness to release, the willingness to trust, the willingness to move forward with less so that you can finally become more. Something new is waiting to enter your life, but it cannot find its way into a space that is already occupied. Let July 4 be the day you clear the threshold. Let it be the day you choose peace over clutter. Let it be the day you release, not with sorrow, but with gratitude for the lessons learned. Because what is past has served its purpose, and what is coming needs you to be free. On July 4, many people will be consumed with trying to predict the future. They will search for signs, try to game the outcome, or wait anxiously for some big reveal. But this day is not about guessing what's coming. It's about building your capacity to meet whatever comes. This is the critical difference between living in fear and living in readiness, between trying to control life and learning to partner with it. When you try to predict, you are using your mind, and the mind can only work with what it already knows. But the future is by definition made of what you do not yet know. On July 4, give up the need to figure everything out. Stop asking, what's going to happen? And start asking, how can I be ready for anything? True preparation is not about having a plan for every contingency. It's about strengthening your inner state so that no matter what July 4 brings, you can face it with calm, clarity, and grace. If your energy is spent on guessing, you are not grounded. You are vulnerable. And when the shift comes, you will be rattled. Look at nature. A great oak tree doesn't prepare for a winter storm by trying to predict the exact wind speed. It prepares by deepening its roots. A river doesn't prepare for a heavy rain by resisting it. It prepares by remaining a river, flowing, adapting, receiving. This is what authentic preparation looks like. On July 4, your task is to be the oak tree, rooted in your own center, and the river, flexible and open to what is. Many people confuse information with safety. They believe if they can just predict the unknown, they can control it. But life does not yield to this logic. Life is not a problem to be solved, it is a mystery to be lived. The most peaceful and effective people are not those who know what's coming, they are those who trust that they are ready for whatever comes. July 4 brings with it a change in energetic potential. Something may conclude, something may begin, something may be revealed, but the specifics are not in your control. What is in your control is the state of your breath, the focus of your mind, and the quality of your presence. This is where your preparation lies. You don't get ready for July 4 by consuming endless speculation. You get ready by sitting in silence and asking, is my mind calm? Is my breath full? Is my body at ease? Am I rooted in this moment, or am I lost in fear of the next? We spend so much energy trying to shield ourselves with knowledge. But real protection doesn't come from information. It comes from inner discipline, from stillness, from being present. July 4 is a powerful moment to practice this. Do not waste your precious energy on worry. Invest it in building your inner stability. Whatever happens on July 4 will simply meet you where you are. If you are in a state of anxiety, the shift will amplify your anxiety. If you are in a state of peace, it will deepen your peace. The external change doesn't transform you, it reveals you. This is why preparation is infinitely more valuable than prediction. You don't need to know the future, you only need to know yourself in this present moment. That is the factor that determines everything. If you are rooted in your own awareness, you cannot be truly shaken. You might be surprised, you might be challenged, but you will not be lost. Your inner readiness is your anchor. So how do you prepare? You simplify, you slow down, you breathe. You connect with the solid ground beneath your feet. You ask yourself better questions. Am I clinging to fear, or am I open to wisdom? Do I trust myself to navigate change? Preparation means cultivating the strength to remain calm in uncertainty. It means training your mind not to spiral into panic when it doesn't have all the answers. It means trusting that the next step on the path will be revealed when you are ready to take it. This is not blind optimism. It is confident trust born from inner work. July 4 is not a quiz on how well you can predict the future. It's a real-world test of how well you can respond in the now. The world can pivot on a dime, but if you are present, you will know what to do. Not because you guessed right, but because you are awake enough to see clearly. Life rewards readiness, not control. So use this time to prepare, not with frantic energy, but with quiet strength and clear awareness. Don't wait for a sign. Become still now. Become strong now, so that when July 4 arrives, you won't be scrambling for answers. You will simply meet life as it is, fully, peacefully, and powerfully. This is the great lesson of July 4. The future is not in your hands, but your readiness is. And when you are truly ready, you can face anything. You won't need to guess or run. You will simply need to stand, breathe, and act from your center. On July 4, something will shift, not with a bang, but with a quiet, undeniable presence. And the people who feel it most profoundly won't be the busiest, the loudest, or the ones desperately searching for answers. The ones who will truly receive the gift of July 4 are the still ones,